But in essence, knock at the door. Now, what do you want?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. I think we're in for a treat. And before we get started, though, I've got a little bit of business to discuss. Tonight's event is being presented by the Friends of the Charlestown Library, which is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to supporting the Charlestown Branch Library. So we are a dues-paying organization. It's very inexpensive. Seniors pay $10, adults $15, families pay $25 for your annual membership. It allows us to put on events like this. We've had 12 events already this fiscal year since July 2025 through June 2026, and also allows us to help support programs and other items that the branch itself needs. So if you are not already a member, there are membership forms in the back. I would encourage you to take a form, sign it. You can sign it online. And the other thing I want to do before we get started is to introduce Liz Erickson, who is our new, relatively new, branch librarian. I'd like to give her a good welcome. She's been absolutely terrific to work with. She was our former adult librarian. And so currently she is wearing 2 hats until we get a new adult librarian. But at any rate, Liz, say hello.
Hello. And to reiterate what Christine said, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much for supporting Friends and also supporting us. You help us to do so much here at the library, and we deeply appreciate it.
Good, thank you. Okay, so one last thing before we get started with the play. We are having our annual meeting, for those of you who are members, and a reception over at Memorial Hall right after the play. So, without further ado,
Everyone's invited.
Oh, yes, thank you. My husband reminds me, everybody's invited. So, without further ado, the 1797 play, Bunker Hill or the Death of General Warren. I turn it over to you, Annette.
Good evening, everyone. Welcoming you to a reading of John Burke's Bunker Hill or the Death of General Warren. It's a stirring 5-act tragedy inspired by the opening chapters of the American Revolution. First performed in Boston in 1797, it celebrates patriotism, sacrifice, and the birth of a nation. The play opens in the tense days following the Battle of Lexington. British leaders, stunned by the determination of the colonial militia, realize they face not a scattered mob, but a people prepared to fight, prepared to die for liberty. Fearful that rebellion will spread across America, they move to crush the growing resistance. At the center of the drama stands General Joseph Warren, portrayed as the ideal patriot. Inspired by the great heroes of ancient Rome, Warren believes that freedom is worth any sacrifice. Setting aside personal safety and family concerns, he answers the call to serve alongside Putnam and Prescott, preparing to defend the heights above Boston. Burke's play presents the Revolution as a heroic struggle against tyranny, celebrating the courage of those who risked everything for the cause of independence. The excerpts that you will hear tonight omit the play's romantic subplot and some of its longer speeches. Instead, we begin at the moment Warren accepts his fateful command on Bunker Hill, a decision that would secure his place among the immortals of American history. Tonight's presentation opens with an overture, a video portrayal of the grand procession from the USS Constitution to the Bunker Hill Monument during the reenactment of the cornerstone laying ceremonies. The evening concludes with a video presentation of the play's final stanzas, accompanied by the stirring melody of Rosslyn Castle, allowing Burke's tribute to liberty, sacrifice, and nationhood to echo once more across the centuries. And the readings begin, Act 2, Scene, a chamber. General Warren, seated at a table, holds a letter in his hand announcing the defeat of the British at Lexington.
Sorry. Okay, a knock at the door. Come in. A stranger waits below to see you, sir, on business, he says, of consequence.
Show him upstairs.
Just from the camp I'm arrived, I bear to thee a message from the soldiers and their chiefs. With one consent they have deputed me to call thee to command.
Yes, I will go, and I will share with them the hardships of war. Whether as private or as a leader ranged, my post is honor and my country's good. But was all quiet? Did the troops retain the spirit which prevailed at Lexington?
The army grows in spirit in every hour. Scarce can the chiefs restrain their burning ardor. So strong is their resentment for the wrongs that loudly they demand to be let out, promising if this be done, they will expel the British troops from Boston.
Supreme deposers of events, I thank thee. Now, Britain, do thy worst. We fear thee not. Let thy sultan issue his vain threats, his windy proclamations to these shores. They will not scare a baby knit by love. Columbia's gallant sons will soon score this rage, whilst o'er the ruins of his lawless power, that pride of human policy shall rise, a pure republic whose glory shall eclipse the Roman and Grecian commonwealths, much as the sun outshines the dim star.
These sentiments are noble, worthy the glorious cause which we maintain. I shall repeat them faithfully, and now I will take my leave, hoping your success and safe return when the fight is done.
Farewell, and I shall follow close behind thee. But ere this hand shall grasp the vengeful steel, for in one short hour I must put off the soldier, and on the necks of my bewailing kindred falter a sad farewell. 'Tis nature's call. I feel the father's and the brother's fears. Yes, I shall weep till the stern frown of war is drowned in tears.
Scene 2, Generals Putnam, Prescott.
Well, Putnam, what do you think of our troops' appearance?
It doth outrun my warmest expectations, though the whole line I rode along the Mystic, and not one coward face could I observe. The soul appeared to animate them all. They looked at once like patriots and like brothers.
Such were my observations. Is it yet known if Warren joins the army?
This day he is expected at the camp.
I'm glad on it. Our circumstances call for men of talent whose genius may direct us in the ways of untried war. But is it not a question if he be not more wanted in the cabinet? His choice alone this question must decide.
Then he hath made his choice, and that is war. His active soul disdains to court repose, to lie down in the lap of ease and pleasure, when foreign usurpation frights the land.
So Cato, the great Roman, used to act when freedom waked him from sleep of peace. Over his senatorial robe he threw the mail of Mars, and he stalked to battle. Terrible to view is when he filled the Senate and railed and thundered at the nation's vices.
Methinks he does resemble that great Roman, exalted by his virtues to the place of president of our provincial congress. It seems, although fortune had no more to give to raise him higher, yet he is not content, but must have a share in every kind of glory. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Huzzah!
What shout is that I hear? Perhaps he's come, and thus it is the soldiers welcome him.
Most surely it is he, and yonder comes the great honest man bending this way. Behold what dignity! I will suppose that heaven hath sent him here to light us in the twilight of the war.
Enter Warren.
Welcome, good sir. It joys me to behold you here amongst us.
And me.
Thank you, my brave countrymen, my brothers and companions of the war. This single day has made me full amends for all the tedious hours of a painful life which have dragged along this wretched land. I've seen this day what once not even in my zeal did dare to hope, that my country, a vast camp, glowing with ardor and enthusiasm. 'Tis good, most good. Let me but live to see the English power in these states dissolved, then I've lived long enough.
That day is not far distant, I expect.
With such a cause as ours, 'twere wrong to doubt.
I have no doubts. While in our host appears such names as Mercer, as Prescott, Thomas, Ward and Washington, himself a host, Gates, Hancock and Adams, Worcester and Putnam, Franklin and Montgomery, and thousands other names of high repute, which Ford pressed to save this sinking state. Let us leave doubt and terror to our foes. It is better doth become us to salute our revolution's dawn with choral hymns and songs of gratulation.
There is a name which in thy list of patriots thou hast not mentioned, though of equal value with all the rest.
Many there are, and thank heaven they're leagued with us, whose virtues merit a eulogium. But none, in my opinion, deserve such high preeminence of praise.
Had any but thyself made out the list, the name of Warren had stood foremost on it.
It might be so if partial friendship spake, but yours and mine and all of our stations are undetermined yet. This war will fix them, and candid history, fearless, will decide who best has served this country. Then, my friends, let us all so act that 'twill perplex posterity to name the worthiest man, so at length, unable to decide, it leaves the affair in doubt.
With what a noble modesty he waves, the praise which only truth has drawn from us.
Sigh.
Putnam continues.
Good counsel, sir, is good. But have we yet a plan of operations whereon to act? The English chief but waits a reinforcement which may with every favoring gale arrive to take the field. Methinks this is the time to strike a blow, while the king's troop are weak and ours are hot in blood since Lexington.
Thou art right, my friend. The foe should have no time to gather strength. We must alarm him by rapid movement, seize some important post, threaten the town, burn the ships, and keep on the alert to guard against his sallies. This will make Boston of small advantage and force him to quit his holds and meet us in the field, or fly back in his ships to Britain.
The sufferings of this town afflict my soul. Fame says that Gage discharges his command with savage fury, loading the inhabitants with taunts and injuries, ere the house of prayer is now become a stable, and their horses, when smoking from the carnage, they retire, their hoofs red with freedom's dearest blood, are littered there, and by their echoed knives supply the place of worship.
Let him rage on. Let him exhaust his fury to invent new modes of torture for the brave and the free. His hour of fell dominion soon expires, and exhortations then will follow him. When Boston, glorious town, shall long survive the fall of monarchies, the sack of states, and live with Rome and Athens in the pages of our history, great parents of our rights, how largely hast thou sacrificed to freedom? How greatly hast thou dared the tyrant's rage? How gloriously withstood seduction? How patiently supported stern misfortune? By heaven, I would not change my situation as a citizen of these illustrious states to sway the British scepter.
It is a glorious town.
Can nothing be devised for its relief?
Yes, thanks to heaven, this moment I conceive a plan which I shall afford the wished relief. The post of Bunker Hill commands the town, the isthmus, a spacious range beside sea and ships. This we will take by night and fortify with all convenient speed, so that our cannon by morning's dawn may play upon the foe.
The project is most excellent. The suits exactly our circumstances.
One thing alone is wanting to ensure success to it.
What is that?
That General Warren should command the troops sent on this service.
If that be it, then there is no want at all. Warren will never refuse the post of danger. We have no time to lose. Let us propose the matter in full council, so that night it may hide our motions from the wily foe. Besides the choicest spirits we must choose from all the ships, souls who look down on death and value freedom more than life itself.
End of the second act. We're at the American camp. Enter Warren at one wing, at the other Harman, a British officer, preceded by a trumpet and a flag of truce.
You say you wish to speak with General Warren?
With that intent, I have been here dispatched by General Gage, who values your endowments and thinks too highly of you not to grieve. To see you an accomplice in rebellion and cursed treason against your sovereign, he has commissioned me to tell you that in respect of your unspotted fame, your life and matchless qualities, he sends remission of all past offenses, with this condition that you come to Boston and leave the rebel camp.
Take back this answer to your master. Tell him the rebel, Warren, thinks too low of his endowments, both of head and heart, not to despise his pity and his powers. How he comes by the right to pardon me, insolent man, if heaven hath wrought a change in his black heart and softened it to pity. He has the amplest field to show his mercy. Boston, town of heroes, calls on him to sheath the sword which frights her guiltless sons, to muzzle up the fury of his slaves, his abject, murderous, mercenary slaves, which shed the townsman's blood.
Surely I must not take this answer back. At least his goodness calls for better language.
Goodness? Weak man, you know not of what you say. It is goodness to seduce the soldier's worth, to rob that loftiness of the soul, that pride which makes him spurn dishonor from him, to make him a vile traitor, a base slave. Is this now what England is called goodness? Rather sweet heaven than it be an abject thing. Your bashaw goodness wishes me to sink the meanest drudge at once and eat the scanty pittance of hard labor.
Surely there's no dishonor in obedience, no crime in taking you from foul rebellion. Your passions make you take this matter wrong.
'Tis thou, good sir, who takes this matter wrong. When nations lose their rights, words of best sense are tortured to mean what rulers please, and the infection has laid hold on you. Instance, obedience, which is in its earliest sense designed submission to the wisest law? Is it made to mean a base, unmanly fawning, in abject acquiescence under wrongdoings, and thus cause rebellion? Which of old was used to mark the conduct of Catiline. It is made to represent the glorious act of a whole people bursting from their chains.
Our English laws are famed throughout the world for their impartial justice and their mildness. 'Tis therefore rank rebellion to resist them.
What are your boasted English laws to us, or any laws which sanctify injustice? Is it an English law to rob the weak, to wring his pittance from his shivering poor, to levy taxes like a Russian czar, to stop the course of justice and let it fly, the fiery banners of destructive war, of martial law over devoted heads or guiltless cities? Know you not, good sir, all laws and usages are made to bend before the magic influence of an act, an ordinance of your parliament.
Oh, then thou art angry that our parliament encroaches too much on the king's prerogative. It is, you think, too great a share of power.
It matters not to us what power it is in England. Whether it is too little or too much, that is your care. And look to it if you are wise. For your parliament is not ours, nor shall it ever be. Why then presume to legislate on us? Why dare to levy taxes? That is the question. 'Tis childish to dispute on points of policy in which you are determined, I am convinced.
Oh, then I see how 'tis a king displeases you. You want a commonwealth.
If once the British government dissolved, we should not choose a monarchy, though swayed by Trajan or Antonine. For what are kings? Kings form a horrid junto into conspiracy, a Catiline compact against the lives, the rights, the peace, the freedom of the world. They are Manchean demons who undo the good which heaven has done. They waste with fire the purple vintage of waving grain. Their butchered hordes they send out to destroy. They themselves, like vultures, screaming over the fields, snuff up the blood of armies. Horrid sights. As they appear young and springing forth their face conceals, the vegetation shrinks at their approach. They live by blood and tears, and sweat and groans. They exercise oppression, lust, and piracy. Famine and war, their iron-hearted ministers before them go, while prostrate at their feet, science and freedom downward into the dust point their dishonored faces.
If these are your opinions, I have done. Though I might presume to give advice, you should not slight his excellency's offer. He will commend you to the royal favor, and fame and honors will pour fast upon you.
What? Then you would have me be an abject slave, a sycophant to follow in his train. And when he is out of humor, talk to him, amuse him with the account of slaughtered rebels, recount his own achievements in the field, and close with history of my own apostasy, till at the horrid tale his furious eyes run over with brutal joy. Young man, 'tis well. Good nature may have prompted you to this. Now at once, for all my final answer take, the man you speak to holds himself as good or as much value as the man in which you serve. Aye, and more while he defends his country than the pampered monarch on the globe. All the riches and rewards my soul detests, which are not earned by virtue. I prefer 1 hour spent in my country's services than to ages wasted amidst a servile herd of lazy, abject, fawning, cringing courtiers. All future business twixt your lord and me may be determined in the field.
Scene 2, a view upon which we are viewing Bunker Hill.
Here I am, fixed on the utmost verge of an angry fate, which frowning around the summit of this hill, with threatening gestures seem to chide my stay. Yes, Bunker Hill, I view thee as the line which bounds my earthly prospects, as the field which thou shalt enroll me with the mighty dead. How came I here? Not by the stern command, or any higher power not dispatched. I was forlorn with hope, devoted sacrifice to take the edge of fury off thy foe, and by my death to seal an army safely. But freely, of my own accord, have I solicited this arduous post, to teach my countrymen contempt of death, to kindle greatness and ideas of their minds. So Leonidas, I'm vain in the example, with proud disdain his mighty soul resigned, to stem the torrent of invading foes which roared upon his country. Godlike man, and with his little band repressed the foe, till the proud Persian learnt by 1,000 slain that little Greece, contending with her rights, was more than equal to worldly in arms. Till this hill shall be America's Thermopylae, here shall her little band of patriot sons oppose the modern Persians, while in flames of smoking harvests that were fired at Lexington. Here's plucked from the heads of a hoary age by Janissaries in brutal mirth, the shrieks of ravished matrons and cries of infants tossed upon ruthless spikes, shall for our souls be affixed with tenfold fury, and put a keener edge upon our swords. Roar on, you hollow ministers of faith, fit emblems of the fury who preside o'er Britain's councils. We regard you not. Our cannon shall observe the deepest silence, but such a silence 'twill be as it exists, as Etna or Vesuvius ere they roll their scalding lava over works of men. By and by our answer shall arrive in death, borne on the wings of thunder. Double your peals upon the burst of your throats, but do not use our new raised soldiers as your surly sounds.
Enter Prescott.
A soldier comes from Gridley to inform us that through his glass he can see the foe embark and hither bend their rapid course. He wants to know if we shall fire on them before they land or let them disembark and unmolested march towards the works.
By all means, let them land. We wish not to engage at children's play. When once we meet, the combat shall be mortal. Let not the gleam or flash of inform the foe that we would await them, keep them in dreadful quiet, grim as hushed whirlwinds or wild beasts in ambush, that all at once our fire may bolt upon them like the wrath of heaven.
I'll take these orders back.
Do not fail to fan the flames of freedom into troops. Tell them their suffering country depends on them, their wives, their children, and their aged sires, on this day's issue, and let the rallying word throughout the day be, liberty or death.
Prescott exits.
Now, liberty, array thee for the fight. Now from thy proper armory draw out the furious weapons of destructive war. As thou hast wont when to Thermopylae or Salamanus, thou ledd'st the Grecians out. Enrobe thyself in thunder, so to their eyes add lightning to their visage wrath. Assume the gait of war, the whoop of battle which coarsely sounds through the burning files. They sadden the armies, then hither fly, and with Columbia's newborn sons advance to rise a temple more superb than Rome's proud capital.
Trumpet sounds.
No.
This signal summons me away to battle. Mindless farewell. Adieu now, soft-eyed pity. Now, savage strife and fury fill my soul, and when my nature yields to soft compassion, let Boston's injury rise before my view and steel my heart to pity.
Exit. Scene 3, a view of water. The English are seen passing in boats to the sound of British music. They disembark at the foot of Bunker Hill and form.
'Tis strange. These rebels suffered us to land without attempting to oppose us.
A little time will clear this matter up. You'll find they've meaning in it.
Perhaps they have repented of their treason.
That I will last believe.
Have you discovered who the leader is they have entrusted with this enterprise?
A straggler, whom we seized without the works, declares his name is Warren.
That is a name in high repute among them, and such a one these works bespeak the foe, raised as it were by magic in a night.
They're truly formidable. I've reconnoitered them on every side, and found them so well lined with men and cannon, that to us it appears expedient to send to Boston for a reinforcement.
Had we not better see if the supply is on its way? What say you, Abercrombie? Why so dejected, man? Does the fair captive refuse to be propitious to thy wish?
Hold, Percy. At naming her, my wounds will bleed afresh. Leave me behind. Look you out to the supply.
Look close toward the foe, lest ere supplies arrive, they meditate a sally.
Exit. Percy and Howe. N.A. Abercrombie. Act 5. Bunker Hill fortified. Distant view of sea and ships. English reinforced march towards the hill. The cannon plays at intervals to make breaches in the works. English bands strike up Yankee Doodle in contempt of the Americans. A dead silence reigns among the Americans. They are seen just appearing above the works, waiting the attack. 3 times the English make the assault, and 3 times they are beat back. After the 3rd repulse, Warren half descends the hill and addresses his soldiers.
Courage, Americans! The spirit of those heroes who expired, those who were massacred at Boston and at Lexington, are this day witnesses of your renown. Suspended over this hill, let them behold vengeance inflicted upon their murderers. Let's give them in our names, and in their names another fire, and in their ears we shall shout, liberty or death!
English again advance, and are again beat back. Warren descends the hill with his soldiers.
Heroes, retire. This day you've done your part. Tomorrow we will make another post, and inch by inch contest it with the foe. If every trifling hill be so ennobled in our vast continent's geography, Columbia may with Rome hold up her head and move along with empires. Retreat, brothers, in danger as you do in victory. This glorious spot myself, the last will leave. Prescott, bring off the troops.
You must not stay behind.
I will not stir until every soul be safe who fought with me this day.
Here a shot comes from the opposite wing, which mortally wounds Warren. He falls in the arms of a grenadier. The English advance. The battle is renewed by the efforts of the Americans to carry off their general. Americans retire. Field of battle. Howe, Percy.
This is a melancholy scene of triumph. Our bravest troops and soldiers strew the plain.
I'm grieved to know it. We have a melancholy list to send to England with killed and wounded filled. There's Abercrombie dead, and valiant Pitcairn, with 100 other souls of generous stamp, exclusive of these mountain heaps of slain which baffle calculation.
How many of the foe, in your opinion, have we dispatched?
They've left but 30 of their dead behind.
We've lost our bravest troops, and in return have gained a paltry hill. This is defeat, and will be construed so in England. Who would have thought the rebels would have dared to fire on us?
Scene changes to another part of the hill. Warren, mortally wounded, is borne in by a grenadier. Warren.
Here I lay me down, so that I may take one sad farewell look upon this beloved land. My short career of glory soon is run, but I have fallen according to my wish, fighting amidst my countrymen in arms. 'Tis true, The foe are masters of the field, but 'tis a slaughterhouse filled with their dead, a spectacle to wring their filthy hearts and to make them cautious. How they rouse the brave. This day has been a proud one for the land. My countrymen fought with Spartan valor, like hungry lions bathing them in blood, and like the Romans in their first encounter with Empire's king. They have resigned the field, a wretched solace to the burning foe, who in triumph sees his strength decay. My soul now flutters on the wings to leave its earthly mansion and aspire to live with Brutus and the virtuous souls immortal. I had but one poor life to give my country. Had I 10,000, it should all have been for them.
Pauses through weakness.
Oh, might I look into the womb of time and see my country's future destiny. Could I but see her proud democracy, founded on equal laws and striped entire of those unnatural titles and those names of king and count and staffholder and duke, which with degrading awe possesses the world, my cheerful soul would gather a life anew, departing from my body as the dove sails from her nest, would singingly soar to heaven.
To the soldier.
I see that thou art moved, good friend. Heaven will reward thee for thy pious care in bearing from the carnage of this day. Thy wounded general, consult thy safety, nor vainly strive to save a dying man. The foe is at hand.
I'm not afraid of death, sir. I'll defend your person to the last. Where can I hope to die more gloriously than in defense of my beloved commander?
Thy general orders thee to flee from here hence. Wouldst thou deprive thy country of thy service when she doth need it so much? Go, my friend, and lend thy aid to crush the savage foe. Tell the world, 'tis all that I ask of thee, the patriot Warren died without a groan, that smilingly, amidst the agonies of death, his darling country occupied his thoughts, that he enjoined his sorrowing kindred to render thanks to the great God of freedom, that Warren did his duty. Leave me now, America, my country. Bless thee, heaven. O God, protect this land. I faint, I die, but live the Republic. Live, oh live forever.
He died for his country. Rain our tears. His death has banished all our fears. You daughters of Columbia mourn, with tresses loose and hearts forlorn. Amidst the heaps of British slain, thy Warren's body strews the plain. His precious blood was shed for you. Oh, let us shed our tears in lieu. When Britain's tyrant o'er the waves had sent his slaves to make you slaves, thy gallant Warren fearless stood, and dared the angry torrent's flood. Pale with affright, the foe retires. Swift as he hurls Columbia's fires. But now he's gone, his spirit flies from earth and seeks its kindred skies. You sons and daughters of the land, from all his virtues tears demand. You soldiers and you farmers here, your heroes glories with a tear. And you of Boston who have seen oft in your streets his warlike mien, join in the general song of grief, which freedom gives to freedom's chief.